Good morning, criminal law. I've decided that we're not going to hold synchronous class this week. You do have quite a bit to do out there, folks. There is your PowerPoint for sexual crimes, sex crimes, and sexual assault. That may not be as long as some of our longest, but it's still a PowerPoint with embedded lecture, and you have a mini lecture from me on sex crimes, sort of like I did to the murder part of that. And we have our regular discussion board, but you only have a little reflection paper this week. I think that will be an interesting one when we start getting to those murkier cases. I have a few things to discuss with you, so I just want to do that, and I want you as a turn-in, I'll put a turn-in there, just so I know you listen to this, to say your opinion on the DNA test that I'm going to talk about. Well, first of all, we have a problem with DNA tests, and that is the fact that charges are just not being done because we have such backlogs on rape kits, right? So we have the evidence and we just need to get them into the databases because we know databases are really important for solving a lot of these. Well, here's what happens when we don't do it. The sexual assault survivors are starting to speak out because less than a week after Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and Memphis police revealed that the man who was accused of kidnapping and killing that Memphis mom, Eliza Fletcher, was a DNA match to a rape kit from 2021 that had not been processed yet. That's crazy, right? So the feeling of pain from that, and I don't know, they don't know if it's frustration or anger, but there's a deep hurt that isn't healed from the sexual assault, and then to have the disheartening news to hear that they also, when you report these, and keep in mind not everybody reports, they don't always follow through. So that's a problem because we want everyone to feel like they are heard, right? Or what's the point? And that is something that I just want to say that, we want everyone to feel like they can report these crimes. We take them seriously. We follow the evidence, whether we find out it's a crime, not a crime, enough evidence to prosecute, but we still take them seriously and we certainly process the evidence. So that is a difficulty. However, there's another side to this, and that is that a woman, Jane Doe, she is known as, was a sexual assault victim back in 2016, November. And she had a rape kit and it was collected by the San Francisco Police Department. Fast forward to 2021 and they're investigating a burglary and they run her because they had, without her consent, put her in a database system because all their DNA goes in a database because that's what they want to make these investigations easier. They ran it from a burglary, matched her, and arrested her on several charges of burglary. Now, those charges were later dismissed, and she is suing the San Francisco Police Department. And that comes after a San Francisco district attorney accused the police department's crime lab of using law enforcement databases that include rape and sexual assault victims and criticized the practice as legally and ethically wrong and said it will discourage rape and assault victims. Rapes and sexual assaults are violent, dehumanizing, and traumatic, the San Francisco district attorney said. I am disturbed that victims who have the courage to undergo an invasive examination to help identify their perpetrators are now being treated like criminals rather than supported as crime victims. What do you think? Jane Doe did commit a crime later. The evidence they used to convict her was something that certainly before this time was not known that was ever going to be used in a prosecutorial way against you, right? We may change, society may change, that may not be privacy anymore once you provide it, but what impact would that have on the report of sexual assaults? Just let me know, yes, or you agree with what the San Francisco Police Department did, that we should give notice first, but that we can in the future because this is too powerful a tool not to use for all crime, or we keep victims' DNA safe and don't breach that privacy, don't enter them in any DNA databases. Keep in mind, databases of DNA are in a lot of ways. We have fingerprint and DNA from military databases. We have police databases. We have rules now that domestic violence offenders get their fingerprint put in a database. So these databases take away more and more and more of our privacy, but some of it is by virtue of where we are as society. Anyway, think about that. I think it's a pretty interesting point of law, and what would this class be if we weren't giving you interesting points of law? We are going to have a test on the end of this week, so Sunday into Monday. The only 2 chapters of your book are 1 and 4. 4 is really a repeat of what I'm doing with the PowerPoint. It supplements it though, so it does have some additional stuff, but it talks about mens rea, it talks about the criminal law basic, and then 1 is just that introduction we talked about in the first week, and all of the PowerPoints and videos that you have. It will be multiple choice, okay? And I am willing to talk to anyone if you're having a little trouble in your studies talking about it, but it will be a timed one. You will be able to take it more than once. You will be able to take it twice if you don't do as well as you want the first time. But there we have it. You have a good week. Bye.